with Rico and Kayla is about to go live online. Catch All Out Monster hit music, All Out celebrity interviews, All Out showbiz and sports news, All Out fun, an exclusive on the Monster. Catch the stream on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your All Out hosts, Rico Robles and Kayla Rivera. Stand by and enjoy the program.
Kayla, what up?
Hey, Rico. It's not just a regular Friday. You know, we have a very special guest with us today. So, yeah, we are very excited here. And it's a full house here in the booth.
And it's an honor because, you know, it's a musical journey of sorts because he was doing big things and now he's up to bigger things. Just, I feel like it's like not even taking a risk. It's just making a move, making that decision to actually travel now and explore and discover a lot of things about life. I think he's on a life journey that we are enjoying.
Yeah.
And he's around Asia, but now this time around we are blessed with his presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Gavin Haley. What's up, man?
How you doing? I'm excited to be here.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. It's chilling, man. You know?
So awesome.
You know, how you been, man?
Great. This is my first time ever coming to Asia. I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, every day's a new day and new experiencing things. I'm just super excited to be here.
And, you know, for all your fans as well, I mean, for you guys, for you to travel, you know, the journey of our conversation earlier is that it's all about music, but you were doing other things aside from that. But, you know, with your music, how did it all start for you?
Music was, you know, I like to call it my personal legend. There was always like times growing up where I was drawn towards music, but I grew up as a really competitive athlete. When I was 19, I knew that I wanted to step away from that, and music was really calling at my heart, and I kind of just took the jump. School wasn't it for me. I didn't have a plan to go study something, so I kind of just sent it to LA and made that move. And it's been a journey since then, bro. Yeah.
I mean, was there like a pivotal moment that you decided between when you were doing sports and then you decided to fully pursue music? Was there like an awakening kind of?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a pretty bad injury when I was 16 years old. I collapsed my lung. I was in Belgium. I crashed. I fell down this ditch about 30 feet.
Oh, man.
I got trapped in the country because I couldn't fly home.
Because of the temperature.
The pressure of the flight caused
right,
to recollapse. So I spent about 3 months in this country alone. And I really started immersing myself more in writing and I really believe that art comes from spending time alone. And when you spend time alone is when you find out what you want to say to the world. And it's funny because the year after that I actually came back and I had my best year as an athlete, as a cyclist. Finished like 11th at the World Championships.
Wow.
But during that time I was playing music more and more, and I realized that was what I was supposed to do. That you know, I think when you're scared is when you're supposed to jump, and like, I know that's a cliche saying, but it's true. And I'm someone that's never really ignored my gut instinct. And so when I was 19 is when I made that jump.
So you had that Peter Parker moment where you had to try to figure out your superpowers.
It's funny you bring him up, bro. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Yeah? Hey, tell you, Kayla, we vibing.
Yes, I know.
It's a bald guy thing. You know what I'm saying? I think we got our senses going. You know what I mean? Yeah, so when you made that jump, I mean, of course, when it comes to your sport, cycling, cyclocross, you do make all those jumps. I mean... And then in comes to the music when you were like, all right, cool, I'm going to be a musician.
Yeah. Well,
what did the people around you say?
You know, it was a shock because my dad wanted me to be a pro athlete. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, and I turned out to be an artist. So they were all like, what's going on? You know, they were scared. I think people are always concerned when you want to do something, a drastic change, because, you know, there's no proof that it's going to work out. But I don't need that. I think that's something I've always had, is just a belief in myself. Yeah, it was a big change, friends around me, and just a big life change culturally too, going to a new city at 19. Yeah, but it's been working out, so they're not that worried about it anymore.
And I mean, you know, as you were saying that you've had that belief in yourself, I think that's something that a lot of people actually struggle with, in not believing in themselves and just wanting like assurance from other people. Yeah. How did you get there? Like, and you know, is there any advice that you could give for people to, you know, just start believing in themselves more?
I think it's just realizing, I think believing in yourself is realizing that even the greats face doubt and choosing to continue. I don't think believing in yourself means that in every moment you think that you have it, as much as you doubt yourself, but you keep walking, you keep pushing. And that's something I face every day. You know, I'm really happy with where I am, but I have so much further I want to go. And if I was to look at the top of the mountain, that'd be very discouraging. I think it's just being present and staying with things day to day as they come, and talking positive. You know, there's always things to be positive about.
And do you believe that in this very moment, your journey when you were in that hospital, when you were 3 months, is it 3 months? Or
I was in the hospital for a couple weeks, but I was in the country for 3 months alone.
It could have been an enlightening moment for you. That was a moment of enlightenment, as they always say that, okay, cool, this is what I want to do. I don't, make that jump. Now, how'd you meet the manager? How was it? I mean, how did this all come back? Okay, you made a decision. I'm going to be an artist. Yeah. What's the first thing you did? Like, have a team around me. What is it? Or is it just your homie from college or high school and let's get a backpack and let's travel? How did it all come down?
So Chase is actually a recent manager. That's my boy, though. We met like a year ago and we started hanging out as friends. And he's a competitor. We started playing basketball together, just hanging out, catching a vibe. And when I saw how he treated people and how he works with other people, I like to work with like-minded folks. And it's been really great working with him. Yeah, that's my guy. Chase.
Chase the manager.
He just standing in the corner. You got 45 minutes. I'm timing you.
Oh no, but I mean, so this is your guys' first time in Asia, and like, how has it been so far? And how does it feel that your music has reached Asia?
It's wild to see because most of my numbers come from here, and we haven't really tried to do any shows here. More than anything, first time being in Asia is just everyone is so kind. So that's really nice. Being in LA is very tiring because you never know who you're going to run into, but I feel like everyone here has just been treating us with kindness and open arms, and I want to spend a lot more time here. It's been sweet.
And other than your music, did you know that the Philippines is a basketball country? And you play a lot of basketball. From what I hear from our stories earlier, you're a baller. They could get you here as an import. There's a major. I'm telling you, there's a league here.
Yeah,
I'm not that nice. I mean, I'm nice, but I'm not that nice. I'm gonna save those skills for the stage.
You know what I'm saying? You can play basketball in the day, and have gigs at night.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Nico does. Actually, sorry. Yeah.
I had a few injuries where I realized my hoop dreams were getting in the way of my actual career. And it was like 3 years ago. I was playing ball, and I was supposed to have like a radio tour, and I broke my finger, and we had to cancel it. And that was a moment where I was like, okay, this is just gonna be a hobby. But yeah, I know it's a big basketball town. Jordan Clarkson is a big hooper. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He's very exciting.
It could be sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That is new.
But I'm gonna take us back to the music. So, I mean, what is like your songwriting process? What makes you feel most inspired to write music?
It's changing. It's always changing. Right now, my songwriting process is going to like my favorite parks just with my guitar and sitting alone. It used to be going to sessions and collaborating. When I first moved to LA, I like to immerse myself. I'm like a sponge. I realized I had a lot to learn, and everybody has a lot to learn. But when I was new in the game, I just wanted to be around people that have been doing it for a long time. And so it was just being around those folks and watching them and being a part of their process and always writing with someone. Recently, I've just been writing alone. It's become very therapeutic for me. I'll either have some chords that I think are hot, and I'll go write the lyrics to them, or I'll have like a set story I want to say. The most important thing to me is that I'm just being real. Like, I wrote a song a couple weeks ago about a grocery store because, like, that's what I wanted to write about. Like, it's just like, if you believe it, people will,
True. And, the journey of it is of you discovering music and then letting go of everything else. Is that the main focus there? Is it really the tip there is to get yourself 100% focused at what you're doing? And if so, what is the timeline? So did you ever give yourself a timeline? Like, all right, 10 years, I'll do my music. The goal is to perform at Wembley Arena.
Yeah, I would say when I started music, I was 19. I'm 25 now. And at the beginning, I was a lot more critical of myself about, like, a timeline. And I was like, okay, if I'm not here, if I don't have these goals met by this time, then I'm going to... But now I'm like, no, it's a journey because, more than anything in the music industry, it's God's timing. Like, for real. Like, it's like... And when I say that, I just mean you don't know. You really don't know what's going to happen. And, like, for me, it's been very, very important to just be present with the process and make sure I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying writing songs more right now than I ever have. So whether I get those goals met this year or next year, I know I'm in the frequency, I'm in the headspace where I'm allowing that to happen. My life could be different 2 weeks from now. It could take 2 more years. I'm not trying to worry about that because I think when you worry about that, you're not in the space to actually create good art.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's being in the moment.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, also what you were also mentioning earlier is just really being like grateful and thinking positive as well.
I mean, I won't lie. Like I was talking with Chase yesterday. Like, yo, I want this so bad. Why hasn't this happened? There's moments where you feel that. I mean, anybody who's competitive or anybody who wants something badly, you're gonna have moments where it's like you see. It's so easy in today's world to compare yourself to everybody and to see when other people are getting things because we live in such a quick, fast-paced world. You know.
Yeah.
And so there are moments where I get down and stuff, but it's important to bring back. It's like, yo, if 9-year-old, 10-year-old me could see that I'm in the Philippines right now talking to you, I wouldn't believe it. And like these are the moments that 2 years from now, it's like you look back and you're like, whoa, I did that. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's traveling. It's putting it out there.
Yeah.
It's making things happen.
Yeah.
And you could see when you stem it back to your competitive days from biking, basketball, now music.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to make a song for you? Is it fast now? Like you just go, grocery store, right? I mean, where does the quality comes in? Is it where Chase comes in and just goes, that song, that's going to be on like the backtrack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I will say I'm very critical on who I let give me advice on my art. You know, there's a lot of people that everybody has opinions. And if you let that get to you, I think you can be making stuff all over the map because sounds that are popular are changing all the time.
True.
What was hot 2 years ago isn't hot now. And so if you have executives or people outside of the space of art telling you what to make, then you're just not going to have anything cohesive. And in terms of how fast I make songs, it changes. I can make a song in 20 minutes. I've been writing a certain song right now for 3 months, you know, adding a verse here and there. You know, I'm just going with the flow of it.
And I mean, in the song creation process, when do you know when a song is done?
That's a great question.
It's hard.
That's a great question. A song is never really done. I think you just have to let it go, and a lot of great creators have said that because stuff I put out a year or 2 years ago, I would not do now. I would have done differently. I would have said something differently, and so I think it's just realizing that a song is ultimately a time stamp of your life, and being comfortable with like, hey, this is good. You know when it's out of place, and that's a personal thing for everybody. But for me, it's just you gotta let it go.
Can you imagine if you wrote a song like 10 years ago, right? It becomes a hit. You got to perform it over and over for the rest of your career. You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not a bad thing, though. I mean, I do. Oh, like that's why you gotta remember there was a point in your life where you thought it was really hot. And I was actually talking about this at a show the other day. I was like, oftentimes when you make a record, it comes out a year and a half, 2 years later.
True.
Yeah.
So, and by the time it comes out, you don't feel the same way you did, but that doesn't mean that other people don't feel it. I put out a song 10 years ago, say, I haven't, but like an example, you know, and people are finding it for the first time, it's fresh for them, and I think you gotta kind of channel the energy they're feeling with that.
You know, for those that are tuning in, we have Gavin Haley. He is here in the studio, hanging out with us. You know, when it comes to music, he is traveling Asia. He is in town. Are you guys going to be doing a show?
We only had the only show we're doing here we did last night. It's more of it's a very quick trip, but I mean the Philippines have been making me feel very, very welcome, so we're going to be back here real soon.
I'm telling you, man, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. Once you go here, you never go back. You never go back home.
Yes, you're stuck.
That return flight.
Everybody smiles here and embraces you. You know what I mean? We've been seeing you do some shows, like, you know, side pocket gigs. I saw a friend's IG live or IG stories yesterday. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, so who have you been meeting? Who are the famous people that you've met here so far?
So far? I don't even know who's famous, to be honest, because I haven't done...
Who was the interesting ones that you got to work with?
Yesterday, who I got to meet, who I really thought was interesting, was Nico. And then Phantom was super cool. Her voice was incredible. Unbelievable. More than anything, I try not to worry about like the numbers and stuff. We connected and stuff, but they were all so kind. Like, they made me feel welcome. There are people in there that are doing things on the same level or bigger that treated me like they're equal. So I really respected that. Yeah, cool, I definitely want to get back here and create with them. I'm sure it's going to be a great time.
And, well, I mean, speaking of, like collaborations, is there anything, like, in the works that you could give us, like, a little, you know, insider info on? Or is there, like, any dream collaborations as well?
In terms of collabs coming up, let me just say that this trip was very inspiring of people I want to work with. I'll be back here working with people very soon. I promise that. Dream collabs, John B., Ed Sheeran,
John B.
Hey, bro. I discovered that cat, like, you can ask Chase, a couple months ago.
John B.
Bro, I've been playing this stuff nonstop. I'm really inspired by R&B right now. There's a bunch of artists I want to work with. I love Arlo Parks. Just a few to name.
It's baby making music, man. John B, dude. And Kayla Rivera, you know what I'm saying? You gotta collaborate, Kayla Rivera. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Musical theater. You know what I mean? How about Filipino artists? You know, we have a question here. Who would you want to collaborate with as far as Filipino artists? Coming from Raiz. Hey, Raiz.
Hey.
I mean, to be honest, off the top of the dome, Phantom for sure.
Nice, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Exciting. And also, I'm just going to throw this, and this is just taking us back to a little earlier in our conversation. You were saying how, like, music, you know, is a timestamp of what you're going through at that certain time in your life. If you were to, you know, put a timestamp on your life right now, what would the title of that be?
Wow, that's a great question. Probably healing. Yeah, I'm going through a lot of changes right now in my life and letting go of a lot of things that I was probably too attached to in all aspects, and I feel like I'm in a growth process right now. So,
can you share that? What you've been attached to?
Just personal stuff. You know how it goes, bro. Love comes and goes, and
dude, I'm on that same boat.
Yeah, bro, it hurts.
Let's talk. Want coffee? What you like? You know, in the Philippines, we are very emotional, sentimental with a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And songwriters, most of the time, will give the best love advice when you go through things. All right. So for you, when you go through a heartbreak, if you are now, if not, you know, if you've gone through it, you passed it. What's the process? How do you? I mean, what's the first thing you do? You get a pen and paper, you write a song.
Man, I'm the wrong person to ask because I feel like I over communicate my feelings. I tell all my friends like how I'm feeling. I think it's just finding the things that make you happy. It's really hard to take care of yourself when you're in pain. So for me, it's like, yo, just do the things that you know are good for you, which is work out, take care of your skin, make sure you're eating good. You know, that's all I can really do, because if I try and think about, you know, the ins and outs of the details of things, I kind of get lost and just go into I just start spiraling, to be honest. Yeah, so just making sure I'm moving my body. Yeah.
Hey, that's what Forrest Gump did. He ran.
Yeah, he just ran
Yes.
across, so
He ran.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's really running across Asia. He's not
flying.
No, he's running. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, right? And he's your Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, he's making sure I'm
Right?
hydrated
Chase
out
is the
there.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you're doing very good, man. You know, your message, you're inspiring so many people, especially here in the Philippines. Like now, our moment here, just talking to you, makes us want to be a recording artist, makes us want to chase our dreams, you know?
Right.
What was that advice? And who was it from that up to this day you take with you? Whether it's making that jump in the hill, or in that, you know, in that ramp that you were going off, then when it came to basketball, taking that shot, it came to music. Whose advice?
You know, when it comes to music, it's weird. Like I said earlier, like I believe like it's my personal legend. There was moments just throughout my life, like, you know, 10 years old, 14 years old, where key people were in my life that were just like, hey, keep playing guitar, keep trying this. And it wasn't one person that was doing this as much as a bunch of forces together. I think more than anything, probably my biggest inspiration to chase what I believe is Muhammad Ali.
Of course.
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey.
So it's like I had him as an idol growing up, and I've always just kind of been like, I can do anything. And I think the older I get, the most important thing is just keeping that part of me alive. You know, when you get older, you start to lose your kid-like belief that anything's possible.
True.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that it's one person or any one situation that kind of made me believe in myself. It's just every day kind of taking care and practicing the ability to dream, bro, not letting go of that. Yeah.
You ever read his book, Soul of a Butterfly?
I have not.
Dude.
I gotta check it out. Okay, I'm gonna check that out now.
Muhammad Ali.
I haven't.
Damn.
Yeah.
We gonna call you the Louisville Slugger.
Yeah.
Hey, or the Louisville Lip. Hey, right? Only
How
two.
you know about the sluggers? You know about the river bats?
Dude.
That's
you know,
cool.
That's what it is.
That's cool.
We're going to play a track. We're going to play your song. We'll play Lottery. We'll play the other tracks as well, so that, of course, the monsters will tune in and hear your songs. And, you know, and then we'll get some questions in. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I have Gavin Haley. He is joining us here in the studio.
That's a special thing.
Yeah, dude. You know, we're talking music, talking boxing. Hi, Kayla.
Yes, hi. I'm doing great over here. And actually, I'm going to throw in as well, this is actually my first live interview here in the studio. So this is an honor and very special for me as well. So
I'm really happy to be here with y'all. I'm happy that it could be the first one in a while.
Hey, that's what it is.
Good energy, baby.
Yeah, dude. That's what it is. Enlightenment, as they do say. Now, when you go to different countries, Gavin, I mean, I know people would usually try out the food and everything, but you know, you're a dude who likes to absorb things. Do you write songs now when you go to different countries? Do you like, all right, this is a doodle moment? And if so, if you have an idea, what, do you write it in the notebook or you have your phone with your doodle idea on the song? You know?
So this trip specifically, I'm just making voice memos. Yeah, so like, obviously I love trying new food, but I want to go find a park I've never seen. I want to walk around, and then inspiration comes in moments. I definitely have made like 4 or 5 voice memos since I've been here. But yeah, that's how it's been for this trip. Yeah.
And I mean, the voice memos. What has been inspiration in these voice memos?
It's personal.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. No, just everything. You know, like I said, I'm healing through some stuff, and it's interesting when you have time away from something how much clarity you have. You know, when you're bitter about something at the beginning, it's so easy to point fingers and be like, this didn't work because this person, and now I'm at a place where I'm like, oh, I got a lot of stuff I need to fix about myself. That's interesting. You know, so very introspective thinking. Yeah, growth.
And you know, the thing there is, right, they do say to fulfill the journey of life, to be able to move on quickly, is to forgive.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. It's not easy, especially when there's betrayal.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
I need to get good at that, because I think I forgive, and then there's still like some deeper rooted, you know, someone can still press your buttons. You know, true forgiveness is being able to separate yourself from that. I'm still trying to figure that part out. I think I'll probably be doing that until I die, but you know, it's a...
When you have that Grammy in your hand, telling you, bro, Adam Levine did it. You know what I'm saying? Got a Grammy in his hand, you'd be like, that's what it is. So let's start with the Golden Dove. We'll have you have a Grammy speech at this moment. I mean, if given that chance, I know every musician's dream is to win the Grammy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to get the music out there. What would be your speech if you were to win?
You know, I think as a performer, I go off the top of my head a lot when I like to say things. When I think about saying something too long, I think it comes across less real. I think I would probably cry. I don't know, man. I would thank my family for sure. Hold
on. We gotta present you with your award.
Yes.
Man, I haven't won anything yet, but this is a beautiful bird. Y'all won this. Wow, you have so many in here, bro.
You know what I mean?
Y'all been working.
That's what it is.
Best
now,
music radio host, bro. Tell me about this. When did you get this?
Yeah, that's Chico Garcia. That's the one before us, the DJ.
April 29th, 2016. Wow.
So this is your award
for
being the Songwriter of the Year with a #1 record and a #1 song.
You putting me in the future right now?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm soaking it all up. I'm very thankful, and I'm probably going to tell people that they can do it too, because that's what people need to hear, man. It's about the youth. It's about inspiring kids. It's about inspiring the next generation. I think I'd be soaking it up, feeling all the emotions, but I'll let you know when I get there. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And I'm also going to just throw in there, People Magazine has included you among the talented emerging artists making their mark in the musical landscape. So my question is, what exact mark do you want to leave in the musical landscape?
I think that it's okay to make changes, and I don't just mean like when you say mark on the world, like change the world. That's a lot of pressure. I'm somebody that's going to change as an artist, as an individual. What I might be saying right now, I might not believe a year from now, and I think that that's okay. You know, give people room to say things and then find out new information and keep learning. I think my mark will be that I'm somebody that's not afraid to show all of his colors. You know, in style, in sound, and how I play sports, and how emotional I get. I'm somebody who's fluid in my emotions, and I think that that's going to cross over.
You know, with so much information in the world, with TikTok, with Twitter, with Instagram, with all of that, to keep yourself in a certain level of authenticity, how do you do it? How do you keep away from distraction?
That's a great question, because I don't do the best job at it. I definitely... where I really think about that, what you just said, is it with the music. I try and stay away from what people are making, because it's so easy to be influenced by that. It's weird, because it's like a catch-22, right? Like, the more time I spend on social media, the worse my mental health feels. But at the same time, that's the game. You got to be on there. You know, you got to be. That's where the world is right now. I think it's just if you're doing that, you got to spend equal time with yourself, focusing on what you are, focusing on what you believe in, just making sure if you're consuming art that you're also consuming things from other areas, that you're saying what you want to say, not just, a little bit of information is dangerous. Like I say that with when someone first hears something, it's like they have a bullhorn and they want to tell the world, but making sure that what you share you believe in, not you're just excited about. Yeah.
I have a feeling, Kayla, he's the reincarnated version of Kurt Cobain.
Damn, that's a big statement.
Yeah, the purity of how you speak from your mind. You have a lot of conviction, when it comes to making music. I haven't even heard all of your tracks. We just heard 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a long journey, I don't know how people will collaborate with you. You know what I mean? And when it comes to collaborations, how does that work for you?
Well,
do you go 50-50 only, or how does it go?
You mean, I mean, like, I'm open. Like, I feel like I'm easy to work with, to be honest, because I'm an energy person. If I come in and I'm crushing it, then I'm going to take the mic and I'm going to say what's up. But, like, if someone's coming and they're contributing, I feel like I'm very... easily, like, I flow with whatever's going on. That's how I got my start in the game, was collaborating. I wrote with so many people, and I've written hundreds of songs that have never seen the light of day. So I love collaborating. Yeah.
And I mean, like, how would a typical collaboration session go? Like, would you guys talk about what is it you want to write about? Or
for example, you and Kayla are collaborating now in the booth. Kayla singing.
Well, how I normally collaborate is much different than how I work by myself, because when I'm working alone, I don't question anything. Like, when I'm working with somebody, their opinion is just as valid to me. So actually, if I have more than 2 writers, I tend to not do the best, because I think everyone's opinion is valid. And if you're asking 3 people what they think is hot, you start to question if what you're doing is hot. So it's nice to have, like, 1 person is ideal for me. Like, 1-2 writers, bouncing ideas off people. Normally what I'll do is play some chords. We'll take turns going into the booth and just getting the melody first. And when the melody's there, normally the melody will scream what the story needs to be.
You gotta get, is the guitar here? Let's crack up some songs.
The guitar is here.
Really
So, I mean, what happens? Like, do you ever get, like, I know there's writer's block, but do you get, like, melody block? Where you just can't think of a melody?
I'm gonna be honest, that's never happened to me. I got
it.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I kinda have the juice when it comes to melodies. I get writer's block for sure, but melody is something I've never lost, because I just never stop singing. I sing every day. Yeah.
What's the advice that you could give? I know we wish we had more time with you, but what's the advice you could give for upcoming songwriters? Because we do have here in the Monster, we have indie ground. There's a lot of aspiring artists, who wants to make it, who wants to get big as well, who starts out and they don't know what to release. They don't know if the song is good. They don't know, So, you have any advice?
Yeah, I mean, I think advice with the music industry is all over the place. Like, people will tell you a lot of things. For me personally, if I could give, the only way I can give advice is, like, what would I tell myself 6 years ago? And that is, don't be afraid to let things go, but also quality over quantity, for sure. You know, we live in a world that's put out. And my biggest regret is not putting in every single release, making sure I'm, like, 100% behind it. In the moment I was, but I think you get more critical as you get older. You have to find this balance of believing in what you're putting out and then also keeping a flow of it going. Don't listen to everybody. Really be critical with who you let into your circle, especially when it comes to art. And don't be afraid to collaborate. When you stop learning is when you're not hot anymore.
True. You got to drop it while it's hot. Hey, you know what I mean? You got to strike the iron while it's hot, as they do say. Now, here on the show, of course, we want to get to know you better. We do have, all-out questions. We do have traffic thoughts as well. Now, for you, man, who's the most famous person you've met so far with all the travels and all the music that you've been doing?
Man, bro, I don't know if I can answer that question. I've met a lot of people that I really, really look up to in LA. It's just kind of inevitable. In the music industry, the world is very small. I've been blessed to work with a lot of people that I look up to. I think that's all I can really answer for that. I'm not really a name guy. Yeah.
And if there was one person you could have a conversation with or ask advice from, who would that person be?
I would love to have a conversation with, like, LeBron James or Magic Johnson, probably. I think athletes are, like, the coolest people. I think athletes are, like, it's the purest form of art to me. Using your body as an expression of art. Yeah.
With everything that you've been doing, making and all that, what was the most expensive thing you've purchased that you regret?
Oh my God, I got this ring one time in Vermont. I don't even know why I got it. I just got like in advance. And when you don't have money growing up, like it felt like Monopoly. And I got this ring that I've worn like 3 times. A stupid amount of money to me at least, and I've literally never worn it. And I probably couldn't sell it. I probably lost all its value. Yeah, this little ring with turquoise on it, like gold around it. I'll never do that again.
I think that's a mood ring.
Oh my gosh, from the dollar store. I love it.
Somebody sold it to you for a lot of money. That's how you get chasing them out of you, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh. And also, I guess, also throwing into the traffic thoughts, if you could say just a short message to yourself 10 years ago, what would it be?
Man, don't worry about what people think about you. Don't overthink people's thoughts about you. That's something I'm still trying to grow through. I think the closer I get to people, the more I worry what they think about me. It's just be secure in yourself, and like, don't say something because you feel like you need to say something. Say something when you have something to say.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, my man, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
You know, for hanging out with us, being our first in studio. You're a light. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sorry, bro.
You know, you're not at the end of the tunnel, but you're the light in the beginning and the whole tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, the second I came in here, y'all made me feel very welcome.
Dude,
it's been a vibe.
It's the donuts, I'm telling you.
Yes,
it's
the
a
donuts,
coffee.
the coffee.
Coffee.
Kayla making coffee, imagine.
Anytime,
that. You know what I'm
anytime.
saying?
Come back for the coffee and, of course, our company.
So invite everybody. Of course, you're not going to have a show, but you're here to just pop up and just play some music. But where can they catch you? Where can they catch your music as well?
Gavin Haley on all socials, on everything. I'm very active. We got a lot of stuff coming out in the works, and I'm going to be back here sooner than everybody thinks. So, yeah.
Next week it is.
Next week.
I tell you, after that 2 Asian countries, he's going to come back here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's a great thing. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Gavin Haley.
Yes. Woo.
Yes, another Monster exclusive indeed. Kayla, thank you for everybody that's, of course, watching online. Gavin, you cannot take home the Golden Dove according to Raiza. But thank you once again, of course, online. For those that are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Ustream as well, thank you guys for taking time to watch. My name is Chico Robles.
I'm Kayla Rivera.
That's been another Monster exclusive interview.
Monster exclusive interview. Monster exclusive interview. Only from Manila's hottest. Monster RX93.1.